Good evening, fuckers, and welcome to the next Train Simulator Classic request video. This one, brace yourself, it's a request from MikkDC, and I think he's trying to make up for the total cock-up of his last request, and even he admitted it was, having the Class 222 on a route that had a max speed of 60 mph. So he's gone all out for the speed here. Unfortunately, and he has no idea that he has done this, but he has chosen a pretty hateful combination for one reason. It never, and I cannot stress this enough, it never works properly. Now, thankfully, there are two ways around it. The first way is to make it player train only, but I do not want to be the only train that's running on a route like this. The other method then involves doing a emergency stop and emergency restart. Thankfully, it is done right at the very start, so we get it over and done with, out of the way. But it does mean that I am going to get at least one SPAD operational error, and even though the emergency brakes only kick in once, it will actually come up that they were activated 16 times. I mean, yeah, even when it decides to piss you off, it really goes all out for it. So, the route is the West Coast Main Line South. So this is the 6th time this route has appeared in these videos. It is quite the popular one. And for the 4th time in these videos, we are going to be doing the entire length of the run. So, we are starting at London Euston, and we are finishing at Birmingham New Street. No surprises there. We're going to run this as an express service, so we will make stops at Milton Keynes and Rugby. Those two stops are compulsory no matter what, so yeah, we'll stop at those two. We'll also stop at Coventry. That will do. So yeah, 3 stops along the way. Of course, Rugby, Coventry are the in succession, so once we leave Rugby we're stopping again relatively soon, and then once we're at Coventry we're practically on the doorstep of Birmingham anyway. So yeah, we got quite a gap between setting off and the first stop, and then we got a fair old gap between Milton Keynes and the next stop, but then yeah, the stops, yeah, there's not quite such a big gap then. Anyway, right, so that's the route. The train is the legendary Class 370, the APT. So we are going to be taking a 10-car APT train. So yeah, really is going all out for speed. Really is making up for the 60 mph of the previous bid. And for the specifics, it's summer and it's clear because, yeah, when you're taking an APT on this route, you want to be able to see it well. And it is 1 PM because, well, why not? Okay, that's the setup. Let's get her up and running. So, yep, here we are, and yeah, there you can see the ETA. So it's saying it's going to take us 13.5 hours. And I can show you exactly why it's saying that. It is, okay, it's not this one, it's another signal somewhere along the line. Usually this signal here comes up red. So this means I don't know when we are when we are going to encounter the signal that is stuck. But once we do encounter it, we'll go through the emergency reset procedure, and that should then get us up and running, and we'll know when it's fine, because the ETA will be, yeah, it's going to take us about an hour and a half. So right, let's I don't know if I can let the passengers on before. Yes, I can. Right, so we'll let the passengers on, and while they are doing that, let's get the train up and running. So get it into the auxiliaries and get the motor started. The C-APT self-test there. We'll take the brakes off the emergency setting and onto the setting onto forward. Doors are shut. We are all set. Okay. So we have 15 mph limit as we are pulling away from the station. Okay, so once we are clear of the platforms, the speed limit then goes up to 25. Okay, so we're in the 25 zone. There's a whole wall of red signals right there, but that's not where we are heading. So yeah, we are heading down here, and this is showing green as well. This was the next signal that I was expecting to have the issue with. So now I really do have no idea where the boxed up signal is. I mean, the ETA is now saying it's going to take us okay, it's now gone right. So it looks like the signals issue has fixed itself. The weight of the train going down that ramp is still pushing us forward. Now we need to put a little bit of power in there to get us up this ramp. We are now in a 40 zone. And now in a 50. I think we can start putting a decent amount of power in now. We won't put it straight in a Notch 7 yet, because yeah, speed limit is still far too low. So once the entire train is into the tunnel, the speed limit goes up to 55. And then just as we leave it, or at least once the entire train has left the tunnel, we will be up to 80 speed limit. And then not far after that, just over half a mile, the speed limit goes into 3 figures. That's what we really want. The old 350s. Let's take her up to 7. Ease off the throttle just a touch, otherwise we would have started speeding, only briefly, but it's a speeding error I didn't really want. .221 just past us there. Entering a 105 zone. There we are. Very soon into the 120. There we go. And then in just over a mile and a half we're up to the max 125. Unfortunately, C-APT not enabled. We are not going to be able to do 155. I've got to find some workshop scenarios where the C-APT is enabled. Failing that, make some of my own. With Wembley Stadium in the distance there. A number of times this route has been chosen does make me wonder, actually. You know, you are aware that I do have another route that takes us from London to Birmingham, and that one we're actually we get a much closer look at Wembley Stadium, not least because we do stop at a station called Wembley Stadium. So we're into 125 zone. There's take us up to the max there. There's 378. take this into notch 3 and we continue to increase speed. Because with this thing I'm used to using notch 4 to maintain our speed, but that's because we are usually doing 155 mph at the time. Harrow and Wealdstone station coming up. I don't know what that station was that we just passed. It's part of the London Overground network, and there is another 378 that's just left that station. So here we are at Harrow and Wealdstone station, absolutely tearing through there. You do get such a sense of speed when you're in this thing, and even though we're doing the same speed as we would if we were in, you know, any of the 800 series, or you know, any of the 220 series, or you know, if we were in the original Intercity 125, the sense of speed is just that much better in this thing. It's that much higher. I've no idea why, but there's no denying it. It absolutely is. So we have speed decrease coming up to 110. We may need a brake, but we certainly won't need a brake hard. Even notch 2 was a bit too much. We have another 378 that we are fast approaching. We're not even going close to our max speed there, and we just breeze past it. So Watford Junction station coming up in a mile and a half. Again, we'll just be tearing through there. I have no idea what that... Oh, it must be Bushy station we've just gone through. This 110 section doesn't last too long. We are going back up in increments though. The next one, 115, so it is an increase, just not much of one. So here we are entering Watford Junction at speed, which doesn't happen often. So yeah, 115 zone starts just as we enter the tunnel, and then just as we leave the tunnel we're into the 125 zone. Or, yeah, we are entering it. So we are now in a 115. Let's take it all the way up. I remind you, this is a train that first started running on the UK networks in the 70s, and its acceleration is still greater than the acceleration of the Class 801. It's greater than the Class 807, and I suspect it's greater than the two new ones that are coming next year, the 809 and the 810. So Kings Langley Station coming right up. I have a feeling that might be the M25 that we just gone past. Apsley Station in less than a mile. Again, just tearing straight through. Yeah, not a particularly memorable station, Apsley. Hemel Hempstead. The next one, I frequently stop at Hemel Hempstead, but not this time. Very much on the express run here. I have no idea what that was for. Yeah, there we are, Hemel Hempstead. Doesn't look too bad, old Hemel Hempstead, but it does look a bit, it is a bit bland. We do have a max speed decrease coming up just as we approach Berkhamsted station. Yeah, once we pass it we are back up to 125 again. We're in the 115 zone. Here we are through at Berkhamsted station. I do like the fact that we were still tilting as we entered it. So we're now into the 125 zone again. Let's give it some full power, even though we've only really got 10 mph that we need to increase speed by. So for a lot of this run we're just going to be sort of alternating between notches 2 and 3. Tring is the next station. Snobby old Tring, not a favourite place of mine. One thing we've not had a look at yet, here we are in the, I mean you can certainly tell this is a early to mid 80s interior, that the seats and the upholstery, yeah, very mid 80s indeed. Probably the low point of the entire APT. Yet another 350. Cheddington station. About a mile and a quarter along the line. Again, I'm not paying enough attention to the speedometer. Fast catching up with, yeah, it's another 350, although that one is, yeah, that one's slowing for the station, whereas we are just going to be hurtling straight through. So, yeah, we are, that was Cheddington. It really does look like a station that's just out in the middle of nowhere. I don't think we've got too far to go before we are at Milton Keynes now. Leighton Buzzard. The next station, we have a speed decrease to 110 once we are the other side of there. So we'll start coasting. We go through a neutral section which had absolutely no effect on us whatsoever. So yeah, at Leighton Buzzard Station. And the old tilt as we enter the tunnel. Let the speed drop a little bit there. The 125 zone in less than a mile, so yeah, no problem there. We're entering the 125 zone now, and now we can speed up. Come on, let's got, yeah, there we go. Bletchley, next station. I'm pretty sure that means Milton Keynes is the next one after that. Here we are at Bletchley, Bletchley Park. Absolute sea of rails around here. don't know what that was for, unless it is for the yeah, Milton Keynes station, which is coming up. I'll say this is a compulsory stop, so yeah, that must be what that AWS alert was for. Braking a little too early here. Had no problems getting the full train on this platform, that is for sure. Yeah. So, yep, here we are at Milton Keynes, or Milton Keynes Central if you really want to be specific. Okay, that's the stop taken care of. We can get, there we go, the guard signal there. So we can get, in fact, let's take it into the turbo boost. You can't hold it in that for too long. So how fast are we doing as we actually leave the station? Yeah, we just hit 40 as we actually left. You know, the last car finally left the platform. So yeah, it's not bad acceleration rate at all. And the good thing is we leave yeah, that station straight onto a 125 mph section, so we can just take it right up to the max line speed, no problem. So we don't have another stop now until Rugby. I mean, we've really chewed through the miles. So New Street is 62 miles away, considering it was 114 when we started, you know. It's taken us no time at all to get here. Wolverton station. That was a bit late with the old exterior view there, but there we go. Disused station, I still don't know what one it is or was. Getting a little bit of the tilt there, but we're not on a particularly sharp curve, so. Certainly getting buffeted quite a bit on this run. That is partly due to I know when you change the viewing angles to the exteriors, when you come back in, it takes it a bit to sort itself out. I don't know why, but it does. This much sort of like bashing about and everything, it looks like we're about to derail, but I don't think we're in any danger of that happening. So yeah, that was another neutral section we just went through, and again it had absolutely no impact on us at all. So Birmingham New Street is now less than 50 miles away. So we have a very slight speed decrease coming up. A mile and a half down to 120. We can just coast down to that. In fact, we continue losing speed even in knots 2, so yeah, let's just leave it there. There we go, so we're fine for that speed limit. And then we're back up again to 125 in just another mile and a half. Well, we did catch a fair bit of the tilt. There we are, entering the 125 zone. I certainly don't need to take it up to knots 5 and 6. Okay, yeah, we'll take it up to knots 5. Another neutral section. Again, had as much impact on us as always. Because this huge bloody great air farm, well, I say air farm, it's one wind turbine. I mean that one wind turbine, it could generate enough electricity to power one light bulb. So speed decrease to 110 going up, we'll coast to that. We'll keep it in notch 1 while coasting though. We don't want the speed to absolutely nosedive. In fact, we do need it to nosedive a bit. In fact, we're even going to have to brake. There we go. Now I think knots 2 at this speed will actually cause our speed to increase again. No, it looks like we are actually maintaining it, so that's okay. Although once we're out of this tunnel, we're back in the 125 zone again. Gaining speed in knots 2. Now we need to, so let's bung it right the way up to knot 7, get us back up to 125. Took no time at all to get us back up to that speed. Another neutral section. I don't know if it's just because of how fast we're going, but we seem to be going through an awful lot of neutral sections. They're quite closely sort of like compacted together around here. Right, so we have a serious drop in speed, which tells me, yeah, we are approaching Rugby, and there it is. We're fine as far as the speed goes. Now that we've dropped our speed down to mid-50s, we're no longer getting that buffering, which I'm rather glad about. That buffering is doing me no favours whatsoever. I'm going to have to stop the external views unless we are stationary, because yeah, they really are not doing me any favours at all. No, so I think the it's, yeah, doing the external views and then going back into the internal is what causes all that sort of shaking about. So here we are. That is Rugby station. So we're okay with external views now because we are stationary. Okay, so onwards, but our next stop is Coventry, and so I'm pretty sure that's the next station. So so yeah, we're not going to be going all that far before we're stopping again. So yeah, at this speed, even notch 1, we're still accelerating. So into a 75 zone. Now this section of the West Coast Main Line, it's a bit of a weird one actually. I mean, it could just be the game, but somewhere along here, in fact, yeah, it's just happened. It goes up to 125, but it's not shown on the HUD. So we go through yet another neutral section. We have another 225. 225. I'm glad we don't see any of those fucking things. No, 221. So looking at the layout of the line that we're on here, it's almost as if the the branch of the West Coast Main Line that goes up from Rugby up towards Stafford, you know, via Nuneaton. It's as if that is the main actual part, and this is the smaller branch, because this is only, you know, it's only the two lines here. It seems unlikely. I can't imagine that, you know, the section from Rugby to Birmingham via Coventry is considered a minor branch. It's another 221. Notice we haven't seen any 390s yet. Maybe they're all hiding because the superior 370 is on its way. I think we can throw out the external camera being the cause of the shaking and that, and the in the cab view, because yeah, it's back with a vengeance, and I haven't done any external views, so we will get some external views while moving. In the meantime, I need to start really slowing down, as that's just telling me, because yeah, Coventry is fast approaching. I know the speed limit was only 75, but like I say, we are stopping at Coventry, so we're going to keep taking us down to the mid-50s. I do believe that might be a 390 next to us. So the Pendolino has finally reared its head. Certainly looks like one. Anyway, here we are at Coventry. Yeah, it was definitely the 390. Right, door shut. So we're ready for the last 19 miles. No more stops between here and New Street. The line speed has slowed quite a bit around this area. I mean, there's still a 100 mph section, but I think we have reached the end of the 125 mph sections. So yeah, the 100 mph zone starts just as we are approaching Canley station. So all these sort of small like commuter stations here, which are more likely to be served by, you'd have thought they'd have been part of the like cross city line or cross city service, which is another route I have if anyone is wanting to request that one. So here we are at Canley station. Utterly forgettable. Tile Hill coming up next. Now that one is definitely on the cross city run. Yep, here we are at Tile Hill. Yeah, what a memorable sight that was. There's another 221 shoots by. Berkswell station coming up next. Barkswell, I really don't know how that one is pronounced. No one has let me know, so yeah, I'm just having to roll with whatever pronunciation works. So I'm going with Berkswell. It's actually the start of a 110 mph zone. I didn't think that we would be going that quickly in the last 15 miles. Oh. Yet another neutral section going. Yeah, so okay, right, that was Berkswell station there. So we're now in a 110 zone. This pretty intense buffeting of the cab is back. So we were still increasing speed even in notch 1. Hampton in Arden is the next station, and we have a speed decrease coming up at 1.5 miles to down to 100. I think, yeah, if we coast with the throttle off, we'll make that fine, I think. So yeah, here we are at Hampton in Arden. And considering how close we are to Birmingham here, it actually looks like quite a nice sort of rural area. And here we have Birmingham International Airport coming up. So even though it's a nice looking sort of, yeah, almost rural area, I somehow doubt it's the quietest of areas. So I'll let you know now, if you're wondering why I am letting it, our speed run down so much. This buffeting is too much, and it's doing me no favours whatsoever, so I'm losing speed because I have to. So here we are at yeah, Birmingham International. Marston Green next stop. So our current speed, if I keep it at around 80, yeah, we will be at New Street in 10 minutes. It's only less than 7.5 miles. Right, so yeah, that was Marston Green. Right, where are we next? Right, so Lee Hall is next. We have, that is the first time I've actually seen an aircraft take off from Birmingham Airport in this game. I've seen them at well, Edinburgh Airport. I've seen them come in and land. Yeah, in the video where I did the Dundee to Edinburgh run, we had the rather ridiculous spectacle of seeing Concorde land at Edinburgh Airport, because yeah, that happened a lot. Okay, so Lee Hall is next. There we are at Stetchford. I'm still certain this has some sort of sporting connection. And it's not that I'm getting it mixed up with Stretford, as in, you know, the Stretford Road End in Manchester. I've definitely heard Stetchford in related to sports. You go through yet another neutral section. Adderley Park is the next station, which is surely the last one before New Street itself. Yeah, we got another speed decrease coming up, and when it's a speed decrease down to 65, which obviously we're going to make no problem because we've been going quite slow for a little bit, it's got to be for New Street. Yeah, especially as New Street is only 2.5 miles away, I've just noticed. So here we are at Adderley Park, very small station. Doesn't exactly look like the most scenic part of Birmingham. I'm sure if there's one thing Birmingham really is full of, it's scenic locations. Actually, I've got no problem with Birmingham. I know a lot of people say it's a shithole and all this, but I think Birmingham's alright. I mean, there are some parts of it which are horrendous. I mean, fucking Walsall is one of the biggest eyesores in the country, but right, we got to start braking a bit harder here for this 45 we are fast approaching. Oh, just caught it. That was pretty close. So we'll lose quite a bit of speed on this uphill section we're on. It was 1 in 56 uphill, but it then very quickly goes downhill, and it's just as sharp going downhill. In fact, it may even be more so. So double yellows as we approach the tunnel entrance to New Street. Yeah, 1 in 44 down here. But the only thing that's even more impressive than the APT's speed are its brakes. So, I mean, yeah, well, it's now 1 in 66, and yeah, we are. That was me not paying attention. That was not the fault of the brakes on this thing. Didn't see the speed reduction down to 10 either, because it wasn't there. We are now on flat ground, but of course the rear of the train is still on the slope. I think it's just coming off now, yeah. Now our stop was shown as being platform, yeah, we're okay, yeah. platform 2B. And yeah, that red signal is at the end of 2B. This is the yellow here, the signal we are approaching. So platform 2B means that, well, for a bit anyway, we are going to be out in the open air. Or as much of the open air as we can be. So there we are. That was Euston to Birmingham New Street in the APT. Yeah, that was tough going. The amount of buffeting and that and shaking around in the cab view made that really difficult. I think I'm going to have to put an epilepsy warning on the title of this vid or something, because that was harsh and that was not doing me any favours at all. So 18 speeding errors. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So there we go. So that was the yeah, that was London to Birmingham on the West Coast Main Line South in the APT. Not my favourite run I've done in that loco, I must admit, but I mean, yeah, so it's great, great train. I'm kind of glad that I wasn't able to have the C-APT, because I almost dread to think what that would have been like doing 155. But there we go. Anyway, so that is that video done, and we will see you at the next one.